Hello, welcome to my channel. It's good to have you here. My name is Gemma Haley. I am a criminologist. I am a mother. And I am also a binary aspect to the tree, which is this. So, for all you kings and queens out there, there's not just one, is there? Might be one up here, but there's just one here. All you kings and queens out there who lay upon this earth, this is how you should approach me. Do you understand? Like, we're not fighting for a reign. Right? We're coming together with understanding so we can bridge a gap. So we can bridge and we can move mountains and understand aspects of what's going on round here. Because let's say the world's been took out for a good 500 years now. I'm getting bored. So let's understand aspects of being like targeting individuals and things like this. We already know who we are. We already know our place. So let's talk about a Doja Cat. She says, what did she say? I'm a demon lord. So you gotta understand why she's saying this. What is she trying to tell us? Demon lord. Aspects of judgment. Demon lord. And then you can see her acting all that character. Why? I'm not doing that. Because I'll take them back out as well. What is she selling us when she tells us that she's a demon lord? Alright? Let's get with it. So understand aspects of judgment now, we can fall. So you've got to understand the Lilith. Yeah. So, Lilith is meant to have left the Garden of Eden in search of what? Because she was here, next to Adam. For some reason, she argued with him about something to do with an attachment or something that shouldn't have happened. Yeah? So there's already no overarching factor, and it weren't necessarily an aspect of God. Because obviously it just weren't Adam and Lilith on the plane. And it just wasn't. They can't even go that far back to underpin these concepts. They can't. Because it's already been demolished and smashed up. Unless it's just a program, we just got jumped into it. That's another perspective, that's another reign, that's another idea. Okay, so let's just get into this one about the fact they actually don't know a truth. It weren't just Lilith and Adam. How does that make sense? Lilith, Adam, they reigned. Or say must have fell out because what? She didn't want to lay under Adam. Pretty sure she did. Pretty sure after lifetimes of worrying and fighting for food alongside Adam, she might have just wanted to lay down and let Adam, you know? Let Adam, you know, I need a rest. Take it, Adam. Take it away, Adam. Pretty sure it didn't matter whether she laid down beneath him or not. You know it's bullshit. Come on, women. So let's get into the more ethical principles of Lilith and the overarching factors that Lilith made the decisions that she made and why. So you got to think, was Lilith really that... I think Lilith might have been submissive. Not Lilith, first house in Libra. I think Lilith can be submissive. I think Lilith can take that role. And I think Lilith can be a dominating factor as well when she wants to put opinions across and her points. Because it's what means to her the most. How can we love Lilith? So let's underpin why Lilith might be pissed off. Because Lilith was pissed off. Right? So we have to realise now why she was upset. Why she was. So Lilith was upset because, you know, I can't understand everything because I don't understand it. all I can understand is like from aspects of like understanding being a Lilith myself in first house astrology, so this underpin a Jewish doctrine. So I can go back to a Jewish doctrine and try and explain it to you guys now, what it actually means. And it would be an aspect of, it weren't Adam and Lilith being upset with each other. Like, it weren't because she didn't lay down. Like, Lilith is submissive and she is dominant. Like, and it depends. If she's dominant, it's a political factor, she's dominant. You know, because I've got it in Libra, so I'm a really domineering actor. I have experience in politics, criminology. I wanted to learn about politics. It was very important to me. So if I was to underpin aspects of understanding Lilith in Libra, she wants justice. It's a MAAT, okay? It's a MAAT, right? It's an Egyptian ruler deity who controlled the whole universe. It's a MAAT, right? And she stands there and she's going in her first house and she wants justice for the whole world. And it was underpinning aspects of children. This is the only way I can underpin it. And it's aspects of being, you know, sexist behaviour. So if people are sexist, like they want to be the woman type thing, because you kind of get that. So you can kind of see a sexist factor that comes, especially with old men, who like want to bring it on to the younger men. Younger, kind of young, but they're not young now. But the youngest men, because you got like 70-year-olds still running the joint, and then you got like 40-year-olds there all being taught by these old dudes. And it's kind of like, you got to realise is that they prey on the vulnerable. And they do. And it's kind of like we did as an aspect of honour for Mary and Jesus, putting them on that, you know, the roof type concept, what I was talking about in my past videos. If you don't follow me, you need to follow me. But a roof concept, which is we need to rise these up to protect them. So we put them on a hierarchical factor. They're the highest points, right? So we have to protect them. They are our protector. We have to protect them from bad stuff. So it's kind of like they're vulnerable in the society under guises of sexism and ageism and political movements. So if we understand aspects of Lilith and what can she bring, not just to a spiritual realm, but to society. What is a Lilith? She's a renegade. She's the master. Right? She knows exactly what's going on, exactly why, exactly who's doing it, and exactly what needs to be done. Okay? This is MAAT. It's an aspect of innocence, universal justice. I think it's also the one that holds the scales and she's blindfolded. She doesn't need an eye to see. Even though she has one, she just doesn't need an eye to see. She just knows. Because she's an aspect of higher being. Okay? And there's a reason why she doesn't have it. The eye, because she's blindfolded. She doesn't have an eye. Because she doesn't. And there's a reason. Right? Because she is a universal goddess, right? So we can underpin this in aspects of a Lilith, okay? She's not even a demon. They demonized her. So this is the reality. We really have to understand a Lilith in this generation and what it is to bring, because a Lilith was pushed down from Binar to here in the Bible. Okay, they demonized her and said that she went off and slept with demons and made so many babies and said that you can't, you know, destroy them. But let's understand this as an aspect of, because the demonic energy is a metaphor, now a realistic contemporary society, it's a metaphor. So you can't take away and kill her children. You just can't do that. Because you're demonising something upon a false narrative, because no child should be sacrificed, no child should die, no child should be done with just because of what? Because I want to, what is the demonic processes for that in our contemporary society? what is hidden as well. And this goes back to understanding aspects of, you know, corruption within a state. Red tape. Red tape. Right? Everything has a connotation. Red flag. Everything has a connotation. And just because you're sat in judgment, you might feel guilty. It might not be your fault. It might actually be just because somebody's rained on you. Okay? This is a Lilith. I'm a Lilith talking to you now. So, we have to really understand the scripture, or what it's trying to bring. And it's not an underpinning aspects of demonic energy under the original truth about that doctrine, you know, because I seem to be slating it a little bit. But I'm not slating it, okay? This is my chalice. This is my blood. This is my truth. Do you get it? Hopefully you do. I'm talking about Lilith. Do you know what that means?
You have to explain it a little bit closely to me. Yeah?
Pop's son doesn't know. He will after this. I think I need to break this down a little bit more. Who is Lilith? Like, just understand this though. I'm not here to like penalise religions. I'm here to open an understanding so that it's not through my lens, and I mean people might get mad at me for it, but I'm not doing it to arbitrate you. Okay? I'm an aspect of Binah, understanding. Okay, I bore children. I'm a Mary. Right? And our mothers will understand this. Okay, we don't come from an aspect of, well, I don't anyway, I don't come from an aspect of debilitation. I come from a different side, a spirit, support, growth. So I had to learn it all by myself. You know, I had to rise my tree all by myself. I had to do things a lot by myself as well. So when I was a little girl, I had to find it in strength within myself to tell on people that hurt me, that I loved. I had to find it myself to tell on people who hurt me that I loved. I'm a different breed. A lot of people can't do that. They get too scared and their tree breaks. But you get people who have so much strength in them, they might have support as well. And this is what might break a tree if you don't have it, but this can grow a tree as well. And when they know how to rise, they can do it all by themselves. And this is how, because I have children, so I made their trees. They'll always remember me. And, you know, some people never had a tree. And they might be high position paying power. And they never had a tree. And they just go around wrecking everyone else's and breaking everyone else and dismantling it. Because they don't understand what it's like to create. They're just aspects of judgment and then destroy. And a lot of people can do that. But people can come in and try and do it for us too. And this is what underpins a Lilith. And MAAT. Okay? And MAAT. MAAT. You know, the Egyptian deity. She's a universal goddess. So this can underpin an Egyptian understanding. They are all fragmentations, but they are all important. We can delve into these things, into aspects of understanding. But if you sit on a position of authority and you're not learning anymore, what are you gaining? What's your knowledge? So, you know, once you've risen to that space, do you rise in the aspect of, are you sure you're there? You might just be at 6. Or are you somewhere else fighting in different realms because you're not going to sit there? An aspect of you will not sit and wait for hell to freeze over, or, you know, people to just take everybody else out, because that's not the type of person you are. This is a Lilith. A Lilith is ingrained within everybody. So in astrology, which is Jewish. It's an astrological underpinning, which a lot of people might be like, no, it's not, but this is how I can understand it, is that it's a Jewish underpinning and everybody has an asteroid within them. It's a Lilith. Everybody has an aspect of a universal perspective that can be brought to this plane, okay? This is what makes us similar, but in different ways, because it's in a different house, okay? This is how we can all encompass an aspect of understanding. Unless it's retrograde, I'm not going to go into that one, but, you know, if you have Lilith and it's, you know, there, then it's straight down the line for us, you know? So understanding a Lilith is a MAAT, okay, an Egyptian, okay? So she is a MAAT, and, you know, some people have different types of lessons to learn with each other, so you can switch roles in this programmic world when you push your eyes in. So, underpinning aspects of, you know, history, what it represents in historic perspectives, and how we can bridge the gap with understanding, because it all comes together, you know, it all comes together under that. And I don't know why I didn't pick it up sooner and start doing this, but it does, it all encompasses it, the lessons that we learn. And it depends where your Lilith is. Mine's in the first house. Crown. Okay, so what do I support? I'm against sexism. I'm against people not being good to women. I'm against, you know, things that take away aspects of children, because this is what happened to a Lilith. You know, they removed her out of the Garden of Eden type thing, and then she kept having children, and then they tried to destroy them if she didn't go back or something like that. Something happened with Lilith. And they kept destroying her children as a consequence. If you don't do this, we're going to do this. So she is Binar. They pushed her into judgment and said, if you don't do this, we're going to do this. If you don't do this, we're going to hurt this. That's how it is. That's what's going down with Lilith. And I'm being serious. And, you know, with an understanding aspects of a Lilith, that they're trying to make you do something, like, I don't know, leave the Garden of Eden, because I don't think she left the Garden of Eden. There's an island. I'm watching Sunrise an island, and, you know, I'm looking at her and I'm like, oh, she was on an island, she got told to leave to go to a different place. I don't think she left. No, she was just like, no, I'm staying right here. We can do about it. And then they were just like, if you don't go, they're going to do this. They're going to do that. And they started killing their kids, didn't they? Think about it. Think about the underpinnings of what I'm bringing to you today as a Satanist. Think about the underpinnings of what I'm trying to bring to you as a Christian. Think about you think them kids deserved it as a Christian? Are they demons, or are they just little children? And they're hiding it. Yeah? So you got to understand that, you know, back in Ireland, let's bring this into like not a contemporary, but because I can't define it for a fact, because I ain't seen any evidence come out apart from in Ireland, where a while ago the media started coming out about how babies were killed in mother and baby units, and they took the children and put them in care homes, and they started killing the children, and there was a mass sacrifice of children, and it's found dotted in areas in Ireland and in Britain. Okay, and this was all underpinning an aspect of a Christian government. And I don't think this kind of information wants to be brought out. I think the lawyers and the solicitors who sit here, so you got an aspect of judgment trying to take place so we can rise to an aspect of understanding. A lot of them, the survivors, are up here trying to bring this down as well. Okay, and then you've got the solicitors trying to stop that. They're trying to stop the media publishing information about these children and the sacrificial of children. And so the information that's being, they're trying to stop an exposure of what's happening with the children. So we have to realise then, if there's an exposure trying to take place through the media, which might be seen as an aspect of support to push a narrative to get people to understand that we can change society and stop this from happening. And if they're trying to be stopped by an aspect of splendour and small gains, so this might be a sacrifice of a child, this can be understanding aspects of sex trafficking, child abuse in general and stuff like this. So if they're trying to stop it in solicitor reigns and lawyers, okay, then you have to understand that a guardian is trying to push through. So this is media outlets, which is interesting, because what you'll do is you'll find within our society that different reigns and different factions will start changing places. So you might think an aspect of splendour would be in media, but actually it's starting to change, and it might be an aspect of media, and they're just being stopped by aspects of soliciting corporations and communities to stop the media from coming out with a truth, which would be that children are being sacrificed or taken against people's will and might to gain small splendour. So they're trying to take out people's trees basically and hide it. And they're trying to take out media outlets as well, like lefties and stuff, you know, the ones that like want to bring an aspect of, because lefties, they are generally, they have a position. So you get lefties, they're more like caring, nurturing, we want to bring aspects of support. And then you get the right wing, who's more like authoritarian and da-da-da. It's interesting because this is the right, authoritarian, and this is the left, mine, which is the leftist, which is an aspect of support. So there's only so much you can do to take out an aspect of support. If you're trying to break out the whole tree just so you can gain small aspects in judgment and understanding, we are not going to gain understanding. You've broken that whole tree all the way there. So that's your tree. And you can rise to this aspect, but it'll only be in a partial concept. You might end up in Darth. That's why you're down here somewhere, fighting for the wrong reasons. And this is also why we need to understand an overarching factor, which would always be a king and a queen concept. I don't know if they're doing their roles properly. I think it's more of a show. So I will honestly say this is a show because they've celebritized them. So I don't know if that would have been a media concept that pushed that narrative on a right, not this, but a right side. But that would have just been small bouts of splendour. So this is where the media kind of normally sits. So this is like the lefties. This is the righties. Small bouts of splendour. Oh yeah, we can just make it up as we go along. Just small bouts of splendour. And this one's no, we can come with love for the people because we care about the people. So usually this is kind of like where a media position would take place. Then if we go up here, they're trying to really bring in, because there's an aspect of judgment take place. So we got the media and solicitors trying to fight for an aspect of rise to an understanding so we can bring out knowledge, because they're calling for Hierophant energies, they're calling for queens. And this is why you should always have kings and queens, and it should be a concept, and it shouldn't be under a corrupt nation, because otherwise everyone falls. This is why it was always justifiable in medieval ages, because we was always searching for resources, sharing ideas, giving and promoting welfare for children. And this is why Lilith was the first wife, because Lilith was the one that was engaging in that. And I believe this is why they took Lilith out. They took her out because she knew what was going on. So it's kind of like what they do is it's the same concept with the Arthurian legends. There's a round table and that, but what they've done is they've taken out aspects of understanding, which is a binar, and they've taken out a Hierophant energy. And what they've done instead is that you've got little green goblins sat around a table feeding off splendour, trying to change your world. But all they're doing is degrading its state. So if you understand the Lilith, she didn't want all the kids to get killed because they were all these demons. You got to think they're not demons. What are they? Because that's Lilith. She was the first woman. So what are you saying? All women are demons? No. So she was the only thing that could have been the only thing that was close to a demon was Eve, because she came from Adam's rib. But she was also Lilith was made from the same debris as Adam. Lilith was made from the same debris as what Adam was. So they're all the same, aren't they? How can you mate and make a demon? You can't. This is how they changed a narrative to make it an unbelievable perspective. This can't be true. It's an unbelievable perspective because it's a spiritual place. It is unbelievable because it's not real, right? Spirituality can be very distorted. You can mess about in all sorts. What they do in the media, same concept. I've said this before. So, when you understand Lilith, well, she had kids. You got to think now. Let's understand Lilith. She must have been the first goddess to reign. And you got to think everything that came from her, after her, was kind of hers. So you got to understand a primal goddess energy with a Lilith. It's the story. This is how you got to see it. Primal goddess energy who saw that every child that came from her was hers. This is how you see it. They weren't demons. They were just from her, right? She was the first goddess. She weren't a demon because she was made from something. A demon is a spiritual entity. It's beyond a concept of understanding. It might be primal because she was the first one, but let's get into demon energy, for example. These are demonic energies. So what is that? Well, they are still actually here. So this is how I can understand aspects of demonic energy still being around. So you might call on an aspect of a demon and it's actually here. They're all real. They're real. They're still here. So they're people. So let me just finish off this concept. I don't even know where I went. We're on Lilith. So now we have to understand that the political spectrum, they're fighting now against each other to try and still bridge a gap with so that media still have political sort of reign, that they can still freely speak about stuff without lawyers and solicitors stopping them. Because once lawyers and solicitors stop them, which happened before, they can do all sorts. And this is why they're trying to red tape everything to stop them talking about the true stuff that's going on in reality, that the lawyers and solicitors getting away with. Understand aspects of lords and ladies, baronesses, all in that area, soliciting communities down here. Then you got the lords and ladies and the baronesses there in the House of Commons. Then you got the love energy, which is the House of Commons bringing for the people. And then you've got to realise that this is media outlet. What is this? This is media outlet. It's support. Some of them aren't all supportive, but some of them are. And they're trying to be stopped, hindered, cut off from a truth, from a binar and then we've got this celebrity overarching factor of a king and a queen. Because they're trying to do that with them as well. But they've done it through the media. So it's almost like they've done it here through the media. They've cut them short under aspects of a right-wing media concept. I don't know if you can understand what I'm trying to say. And then what they've done is they've cut the kings and queens off, but they've done it in a different way this time. And it always happens throughout society. It's some aspects of criminal justice and the law. Okay? And it's fairly sad. But let's go back to a Lilith. So you got to think, Lilith is protecting all her children. And you got to understand MAAT. And she's always up here. No matter what you're doing, tell you can't go there all day long. Tell her she ain't worthy there all day long. Alright? You can rise me all day long. Alright, understand? You came from down here, I rose you. You want to try and push me down and rise me on that shit stream that you created? She was always there. It was always hers. Lilith Libra first house, MAAT. Right? Get it. Lilith Libra. So, you can do what you want to me. Because I'm just sitting back, Pisces, watching you all do what you're doing. Watching you all break your own codes and conducts. Watching you all break your own laws. Right? Lilith. So I'm watching you all break your own. So